because of the terminal diagnosis that we've now had confirmed by technically three people, because I'm sure that's what the my doctor in Manchester was. We agreed that's where we were going with that one, although we didn't actually use the T word. Is what it was. So we asked the doctor in Nottingham. We asked him for some advice. He said, we asked him, okay, because of where we are, we know that we're obviously you're going to be looking at things, and that's great. But do you think we should tell the kids that I've now changed diagnosis to terminal? And he said, well, look, it's obviously your decision. But if it was me, I would do it. Now, I appreciate that from him because there are some doctors out there that wouldn't answer that, that would give you the runaround on it. We'd built up a rapport with this guy that we understood that we could be honest, and that means a lot. So we agreed we were going to tell the kids that night that Dad's diagnosis had changed from what it was to the official word of terminal, because eventually they were going to hear words like Loros and stuff like that. So it was the right thing to do. And so we drove home. It was late. We got fish and chips, and we all sat at the table. And it was the hardest thing I've done in my life. The hardest thing. The words can't even describe how hard that was. I've got an 18-year-old. I've got a 21-year-old. They understand what these words mean. They're not children anymore. They know what this means. Now, we'd always treated my disease as a joke. All through it, it's been joking around and playing. We never took it seriously because that's how we deal with things. And deep down, Dad was, okay, so we play around with the Superman thing, and everybody knows me. I have this weird obsession with Superman, but that's how they saw it, that if anyone was going to beat it, I was going to beat it. And now I have to take that away from him. So we sat down, and they both knew something was coming because they knew we'd been to the doctors, so they were prepared for this. Well, maybe not that, but they were prepared for it. And we just told them as calm as we could. They said, look, we've just been told that Dad's now terminal. Now, it doesn't mean he's going to die tomorrow. It could be months, it could be years, but we explained that the terminal diagnosis had come from that all conventional medicines failed now, and there was not a lot of options left. So that's how we explained it to them. And it was hard. It was horrible. They were really upset, which made us upset. And they took it really well. I mean, so great. I'm so proud of them. Sophie, she turned around and she said, but who's going to walk me down the aisle? Now, thankfully, she hasn't even got a boyfriend at this point, which I'm glad of, but now you're looking at the future. Who's going to walk her down the aisle? I'm not going to see Josh become a copper. I'm not going to see Sophie graduate uni. I'm not going to see Josh get married or have kids, become a grandfather, granddad, grandpa, El Padre, as we call it. El Padre. I'm not a granddad, I'm an El Padre. Awful, awful, awful. And they cried, and we hugged it out. But we did reassure them that this last doctor had said, look, it's not, yes, the diagnosis is that, but there are things that we're looking into, so it's not over yet. And we all know how strong your dad is, so never give up the fight. And 20 minutes later, Sophie was going through my wardrobe to see what clothes she could steal for her university course to rip my clothes apart and make things out of. She said, well, you won't need them. Good. That's how we deal with it. But in terms of the hardest day so far, that was it. Telling that I had it was difficult, but it wasn't hard because it just wasn't. I can't explain why, it just wasn't, because we didn't have that word. Now we do. So telling that word was Maisie. See you in the next video.